and everyone who stayed with us today. This year's theme is simple and yet powerful: proactive trust at scale to test, predict, and prevent with Agentic AI. So, Datagaps Tech Summit, our Trusted Data Summit for 2025, has brought together focused people like you, data leaders, practitioners, and partners for a day on data quality, reliability, and innovation. We opened with our founder and CEO, Naren, who showed how the Datagaps DataOps suite delivers end-to-end data quality monitoring and test automation for both pipelines and analytics. He brought some Gartner statistics on what we are seeing in the industry and in the market, and his remarks set the tone for the day. Not just the theory, but real implementations of modern data ops and data reliability. Then Dinesh Chandrasekhar, our keynote speaker, in his keynote reminded us that organizations today are defined by the quality, trust, and speed of their decisions. He walked through how innovation, governance, and responsible AI are already being used in real customer environments and how these changes are shaping data and analytics programs today. Across these three main tracks, ETL validation and reconciliation, BI validation, and data quality management and observability, you saw concrete patterns for building trust in data. In the ETL sessions, for example, leaders such as Jatin, Pradeep, and NYU Srilata and Kasturi showed how the teams protect privacy in testing, convert the mappings, the DBT models, and the SQL into tests, and detect subtle data drift with segmentation, adaptive thresholds, backtesting, and agentic AI. Second, in the BI validation track, speakers such as Abhishek, Biswadeep, and Saujanya focused on moving beyond the static dashboards to a truly data-driven culture using AI-powered predictive and prescriptive models, embedded insights in workflows, and automated report-to-database checks so that filters, joins, and KPIs stay protected before executive reviews. And lastly, in the data quality and observability track, experts including Thadi, Raju, and Hashraj outlined how teams turn specifications into assurance in regulated environments, align with frameworks such as the Basel framework, and apply a vendor-neutral data reliability by design framework. They also broke down the 5 pillars of observability: the freshness, the volume, the schema, the lineage, and the quality as the backbone of enterprise trust. Overall, the message was clear. We are moving from after-the-fact checks to always-on assurance across ETL, BI, and data quality. Reliable data is not a checkpoint at the end. It is a continuous system you design up front, monitor all the time, and improve with feedback. So let's zoom in a little bit on the ETL testing when done at scale, because this is where many of our biggest risks and costs sit. We start by mapping the landscape, identify your critical source and target tables, the key fields that drive revenue, risk, and reporting, and the pipelines that move the data. So this gives you a clear scope. Next, we run source to target checks. Think of this as, did what I send actually arrive safely? We compare values so that source and target the match, look for null values, truncation, or unexpected changes from the loading. Then we validate the transformation logic. Every derived column, aggregated column, or business rule must compute as designed and trace back to a clear requirement. So when something breaks, you can see where and why. We also checked the completeness and accuracy by reconciling row counts, making sure that the mandatory fields are filled, and looking for missing or extra records that could distort your reports or models. From there, we add data quality checks, catching the duplicates, enforcing the formats, and using thresholds to flag the outliers that may signal deeper issues. We audit the schema and the metadata to catch the drift, the columns added, removed, or reordered, and to keep the names and data types consistent. So before each release, we run the regression and change impact tests across versions between pre-production and production, an enablement layer with all the diagnostics, the no-code test pipelines with alerts, and the AI-assisted rule suggestions tied into the CI/CD lets this run at scale, gives you trustworthy data with faster and safer releases. On the business intelligence front, we focus on making sure that the right reports, the KPIs, are both trusted and usable. So we start by identifying the key business reports and the KPIs that really drive those decisions. Once they are clear, we validate the report shell, the metadata, the layout, the styling, the filters, and the overall semantic model so that the report looks and behaves as expected. Next is data validation. We compare those key numbers to their source tables and test filters and extracts to be sure that they slice and calculate correctly. We also run comparison and regression checks across dev, test, and production so updates do not quietly break a key KPI. We then verify security and business logic, role and group access, alignment with business requirements, and how KPIs relate to each other. Finally, we review the performance, load times, basic stress tests, and snapshot-based automation so teams can run these checks at scale and keep reports stable as the business evolves. Finally, when we talk about modern data quality and how to make trust measurable, we start by identifying critical data elements, the fields that drive revenue, compliance, or key executive metrics. So these crown jewels, if you will, become anchors for validation, reconciliation, and anomaly detection across your pipelines. So underneath those two pillars, data integrity keeps the data accurate, complete, reliable, and consistent over time. And data quality focuses on fitness for purpose, testing data against business rules so that people can use it with confidence. So to bridge this integrity with quality, we can share processes such as reconciliation, lineage, profiling, relationship checks, business logic validation, and anomaly detection to catch the patterns the rules miss. So quality cannot be a one-time project. We combine rules-based checks with anomaly detection and roll the results into a data quality score that can be sliced by the pipeline stage as well as by the level, whether it's records, tables, models, or the entire enterprise. So finally, we map the score to the core dimensions such as accuracy, completeness, consistency, timeliness, uniqueness, validity, and conformity. So these steps make the trust visible. They guide fixes to the right place and keeps analytics and operations running on dependable data. So what do you do after this summit when you are back at your desk? And let me leave you with 3 concrete next steps. First, pick one high-value pipeline or dashboard and turn on the proactive tests. Put tests into a CI/CD or an anomaly detection into production so that you can shorten the time to detect and the time to recover on something that really matters. So second, add those data contracts and gates so breaking changes never ship. define what good looks like for that pipeline or dashboard, and wire those checks into the tools you already use. And third, pilot agentic AI test regression on a real project. Use mappings and lineage to auto-generate those tests, then measure before and after to see how many issues you catch earlier and how much manual effort you save. So if you work in BI, treat it like software. Regression as code for visuals, filters, and measures, plus all these automated tests for row-level security. So if you run the pipelines, think end-to-end from ingestion to dashboard, stitched together by all these tests and observability. So as we close Datagaps Trusted Data Summit for 2025, my hope is that you leave with practical architecture and next steps so that you can use to embed quality into every stage of the data lifecycle. I will end with a simple note: stay curious, believe in your ability to improve the process, and have a plan to share with people who can help. On behalf of Datagaps, thank you for your time, your questions, and your trust. Thank you for joining us. Test, predict, and prevent to deliver data your business can count on. Until next year, thank you.
For further questions, feel free to reach contact@datagaps.com. Request a free demo, scan the QR code below. Thank you.